In our last episode, we were headed north and settled into our spot at King's Dominion KOA in Virginia. This was a perfect base camp from which to visit two places where Sharon's ancestor fought in the Civil War.
Turn right into the parking lot. Then your destination will be on the right.
Our first stop was at the site of the Battle of the Wilderness. Sharon's ancestor was part of this battle back in May of 1864.
Your destination is on the right.
And was captured here by Confederate forces. He was taken to Andersonville Prison Camp, the place we visited back in episode 2. After wandering around the whole battlefield area and doing our best to get a feel for everything that happened there, we investigated a nearby brewery and scavenged some food to keep us alive till we got back to camp.
Pistachio shells on the ground, or
The next day, we visited the battlefield at Fredericksburg, Virginia. Sharon's ancestor fought here as well in December of 1862.
The last time Federal forces had been in Fredericksburg was the spring of 1862. At this
Unlike many of the Civil War battlefields, Fredericksburg is one that is fairly easy to understand. Union forces were soundly defeated after making an attack that never should have
the
happened.
superintendent's lodges all replicate a style known as the Federal style, mirroring.
The Confederates were in a perfect position on the high ground, with a stone wall perfectly placed for protection.
On the morning of December 13th, Burnside set his plan into motion, but problems arose before the attacks even began. First, the orders arrived late and were not delivered to the officers. It was escalating. The stakes kept getting higher, and the civilian population was no longer on the sidelines. Just weeks after the
Union commanders were forced by political pressure to make an attack, and they failed spectacularly.
there, done that.
We walked the streets of Fredericksburg for a while before having dinner at a German restaurant. On April 26th, we left Virginia to cross the Chesapeake Bay over to the Delmarva Peninsula. Our goal here was to visit several sites related to Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. However, this is where our plans got derailed. It turned out that the Harriet Tubman Historical Park was closed. When we attempted to move to a different part of Maryland, our GPS routed us to a ferry that was not intended for trucks or RVs.
Did you say
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We had to do some fancy reverse driving to get out of that mess and relocate further north, where we could at least visit Tubman's birthplace and the Church of Samuel Green, one of her associates on the Underground Railroad network. On April 28th, we left the Delmarva area and traveled back across the Chesapeake Bay to Annapolis, Maryland, where we spent the night at a Harvest Host location, Hopscratch Farms. While in Annapolis, we met up with some friends for dinner and music. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania would be the final Civil War site on our trip. We got into town on April 29th and would spend the next day at the battlefield. Gettysburg was a pretty complicated battle scene to try and get an understanding of 150 years later. It took place over a large area, with multiple battles going on in multiple places over 2 or 3 days. The most interesting spot for us was Little Round Top. This is where Sharon's great-great-grandfather fought. We were able to locate the monument to his specific unit from Utica, New York. After our day at the 1863 battlefield, we traveled back further in time with dinner at the 1776 Dobbin House Tavern. The next day we continued heading toward home, making it as far as Dalton, Pennsylvania, where we stopped at another Harvest Host location, McGrath's Pub and Eatery. Our last travel day was May 2nd. We arrived back home after 4,700 miles and a bit over a month. The snow's gone, the lawn needs mowing, our truck developed a small radiator leak on the way home, so we've got lots to do before our next adventure. We'll see you next time.